Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, we'll cover all the installation part. We'll take through the official documentation of Flutter. We'll see the prerequisites that are required for installing Flutter. So let us first start with installation and you can just type Flutter installation here. Okay, so these are the official docs. We are just going to follow these options only. So for today's in for this video, we'll basically go with the Windows option because throughout this whole course we'll be using Windows as our operating system. Although there are some alternative options like macOS, Linux, and Chrome OS, but most of the time people use Windows. So we thought like, why don't we use Windows throughout this whole course? So yeah, we just need to click on the Windows option, and these are first of all the system requirements like operating system, Windows 10 or later. We also discussed this part in the last video also, but let's see once again. So right now we are using Windows 11 as our operating system, and we have enough of our disk space. Although the prerequisite says that we need at least 6.1.64 GB and does not include disk space for IDEs. And for IDEs, Visual Studio, and all those stuff, we need other disk space requirement is also there. And this is only for the Flutter SDK, by the way. And these are the tools that Flutter depends on. Flutter depends on tools like this. Windows PowerShell we already have. I can already show you this. This is the terminal where this says the Windows PowerShell. Sorry. And we need Git. Okay, so let's start with the installation of Git. Yeah, we need to download Git. Okay. So internet speed is quite good. We just need to click on this option. Click on the downloads and here will be the option for installing the Git. And just click on next button, and by default it will go for the program files, but why don't we change the directory? Go to the D, and I've created a specific installation folder for installing all the packages. This is the installation, and these are some of the options. Let's continue with the default options only, and this is, yeah, Git. Oh, that's it. So command line third-party software, that's fine. Yeah, perfect. Just next, next, and just click on the install button. Okay, it will take like 1 to 2 minutes. Till then, we can see what is Git. Yeah. So, if you understand Git is the fundamental, probably as you will learn, try to clear mind thinking this. So, why we need Git for Flutter? So, for the version control of Flutter, we need Git. That's why it is one of the prerequisites. And most of the people, I guess, might be using Git and GitHub. It's like Git is like the command line tool for GitHub. Whether you want to push any codes to the GitHub, or you want to pull, you want to fetch, you want to just commit the changes. So Git is the command line tool. I am searching for the exact, what do we call, exact definition of Git. So introduction. So Git is a popular version control system, as I already mentioned. It was created by Linus, and Linus was the only one who developed Linux or Linux, whatever you say. So it is basically for the version control system and to track what code changes we did, and to check who made the changes and the coding collaboration, all these things. Repo. Even we can also create a GitHub repo for this whole Flutter course. So yeah, we'll definitely check that part too. let's see the progress. Okay, so either you want to launch Git bash right now or not, that's up to you. But Git has been installed, and yeah, this is the Git bash. Yeah, all you can here you can see the Git status. You can run all the Git commands here. Right now it says that not a Git repository because we haven't created any repository, which we can create for later. But right now we just wanted to, we just needed to install Git. It has been already installed, and let's close these tabs. Okay, so we'll also check. So point one, Git was installed. Git is Git installation. This part is done. And let's check the second one. Windows PowerShell is already there. Hmm, Yes, already. Press. Let's check the third point. Okay, so the third point is easy, like get the Flutter SDK. And for downloading it, we just need to click on this option. Yeah, the download has been started. Second point is get the Flutter SDK. Flutter SDK. SDK, if you don't know the full form of SDK, is Software Development Kit. It is basically for creating the whole environment to your project. This is required. Even when you create a Flutter program, a Dart program, or an app, there will be various files as well as directories which are maintained by this Flutter SDK. Yeah, I can also. What is SDK? Yeah, uh, you must be familiar with this point. Those who have been using Java, because JDK we install it. A software development kit is a set of tools provided by the manufacturer for a hardware platform operating system. Yeah, this is like a complete package, a complete tool for running a specific platform dependent or platform independent projects. For running a particular things on a hardware platform or operating system, we need this software development. So if you want to learn more about this, you just click here, just go through the website, just go through the internet, and you'll be able to find it. See how much download is done. Okay, so Flutter is also Flutter SDK zip file is already downloaded, and yeah, okay. So why don't we do one thing? There is a zip file, and we'll go to the home installation. Let's copy it here. Okay, and we will expect it here only. Go back some and select all installation. Yeah, that's perfect. It will take around 2 minutes, I guess. You can check the more details till now. Till then, so speed is good. And one more thing, whenever you install any application or any package, install it on the SSD. And this local disk D was an SSD because whenever it will like use the binary files, the read and writing speed of SSD is far better than SDD. So earlier when I was new to like computer and laptops, I used to install most of the things in SDD, and I used to think like why the system is so slow, why an application is taking so much time. And yeah, except the zip file, the desired location. Even they also say like do not install Flutter to a path that contains special character like C directory, program files, and that's why by my own. I installed it on the D directory, and I also created a specific folder for that. That is installation. Yeah. Now this is the main step, and most of the people who follow these docs like stuck in this point, usually stuck in this point because this step is quite complicated, and this says that we need to update the path. And for updating the path, uh, we need to open the environment variables and do select the system path or system variables or the user variables. I'll tell you that in a minute. Let's wait for this zip file to be extracted. So 90, around 90% is already done. Will take 20 more seconds, I guess. It's extracting the whole SDK. That's why it's taking so much time. Let's just crop this one. And let's BenGW is not required. Flutter installation. Tab is also not required. Okay, 84% is completed. And even if you go through the docs of Flutter, there are like various options that you can go through. Like editor support, hot reload. Hot reload is like basically one of the best feature of Flutter, apart from like cross-platform feature. And even there are code labs. We'll try to follow these code labs also. We'll try to follow the code that is given on these code labs, and we'll try to replicate in our further video too. But this video is probably completely for the installation process because and most of the time, most of the people that face the problem is regarding the storage because like Visual Studio, we are going to install it, take lots of space, and Visual Studio Code, yeah, all those things. Once again, okay, 20 more seconds, about 30 seconds. And it's done. Yeah, you can see all the files are there. And this is the important file. This is the binary. This is the folder where all the binary files, binary codes are present. And we need to usually just give this path on the environment variables. Once again, I'll show you how to give the environmental path. So it's saying to under user variables, go for the environmental path. So click on the window button and write environment. Yes. Click on the first option, edit the system environment variables. This is window 11. Yeah, and here in the like right bottom right corner, there is an option for environment variables. And this is the user variable. There's usually like if you want to use Flutter, if you are like a single user, you want to use this, then this is the way, or this is the system variable. No matter how many users are working on the system, everyone will be able to run this Flutter. But let's go with the user variables because I am the only one using this system. And this is the path option. This is the path option. Single click or double click and click on this edit button. Okay. Now click here on the next line or click on the new line. Now this is where we need to paste the path option. So first of all, let's file explorer. Let's go to the home. Okay. I don't want anyone to lag behind as anyone who is unable to install. So this is the path window disk D, Windows is new volume D, and this was the path where I downloaded the Flutter. And this is the unzipped file or exported file, and this is the Flutter. And inside Flutter, there are various options, but keep in mind the most important file folder inside this is bin. Okay. Once you are in the bin, click here. Okay, this will provide you whole the complete path of this bin folder. Control C or just right click or copy and click on the environment variable and click on this new button, and here you need to paste this. This is a complete uh, folder path or file path to the bin directory. Okay, and just okay, and everything is done. Okay, okay. Let's see whether Flutter SDK has been installed or not. For that, we'll need to open the terminal. That see, wait for a few seconds. Okay, so we can see the message of Flutter. I mean, we can add more further commands to this Flutter command, but it says like welcome to Flutter. So this means that the Flutter SDK has been installed in the system. So this part is done. This part is done. Fourth one. Okay, SDK has been installed. Okay, so the path has been updated, and there are some of the like where Flutter Dart is present. We can run this command. Yeah, we can run this command. And Dart is the programming language. Yeah. Okay. So have to we'll have to check this. Yeah, so this shows the file this directory, the path where the Flutter and Dart is present. Okay. So this is the where command, where.exe, and these are like it also provide the bin. Yeah, this is the important, and this is one of the important files for running the Flutter. Okay, that's it. And yeah, we can run Flutter Doctor. It will tell about whether completely Flutter has been installed or the prerequisites has been installed or not. CLS Flutter Doctor will take some time for processing. Wait for a few seconds. And as I already said, like installing Flutter is not an easy game because Flutter, like downloading Flutter SDK is a very small thing, but the other third-party application on which Flutter is dependent on, those things are like pretty complicated. Idea why it's taking so much of time. Yeah, okay, so the output is here. So it says like Flutter is stable, Flutter SDK is installed, Windows version is working fine. This Android toolchain. So it says you need to download Android SDK and install Android Studio. So that's why I said like we need to install Android Studio, and we also need to install Chrome and Visual Studio and on Android Studio, all those things. So yeah, this Flutter Doctor will tell like which of the prerequisites has been installed or not. Flutter Doctor is done, and now the time for Android Studio. Okay, yeah. So what I'm just doing is like control, like pressing the control button, whether it's left control, right control, and just clicking on it. So, so the thing it will do is like it will open the tab on the new, open this site on the new tab. Most of the time, if you click on this, so this is like Edge, so it will already do that. But if you're using Brave or if you're using Chrome, then it will open this new file or new website on this same page only. And that's why I'm clicking Control left control and then clicking on this link. You just need to click on download Android Studio Giraffe Go down, click on that I have read and agreed. So I don't have much time for reading this whole agreement. You can, if you have time, then yeah, you are good to go. So it's like 1 GB. Okay. And wow, we have earned an Android Studio badge already. For that, it is asking for sign in. Let's just skip this part and go to, okay. So the internet speed is quite good. Yeah. Okay. Good. We are good to go. Android Studio has been downloaded. Let's just wait for few more seconds. Yeah. Click on this download and click on this open file. Take some time to open it. Let's just wait. We don't need this part. Yeah. So it's loading now. Cool. Click on the yes button. Click on the next button. Android Studio. What should device? Yeah. You just need to go with the default settings. And we change the directory here. Go with this PC. Local disk D. I want every packages or every file that is installed on the same directory so that it is good for like future reference. Next. Okay, so it is saying it's giving an error like please select an empty folder. So why don't we just create an empty folder? Uh, Open the File Explorer, we'll go in installation. Let's create a new file. Right click and folder, and let's do it. What we can do? Android Studio. Okay, or we can provide this file on the Android Studio. Okay, we can even browse, or we can just sorry, we can just write Android underscore studio. That is next. Android Studio get in there. Stop. Okay, so the installation has been started. You see the details. What are the packages that are being installing right now? So like installing Android Studio itself is a great task, not a great task, but it takes great space, what I can say. So it is like extracting the packages on the installation Android Studio. Okay, it's completed. Click on the next button. Yeah, we can start Android Studio. So it's saying like whether you can import your setting, the setting that you use in previously, but we are using Android Studio on this system for the first time. Just click with the default settings, and you can leave it right now. Okay, so it says welcome Android Studio. So we can say that Android Studio has been installed on the system. Click on the next button, Android SDKs. It will 1.92 GB. It will again download some of the packages. So yeah, so at this page, you need to accept on this, and then you need to go. So the first for the first license agreement we have accepted. This is the second license agreement, and we need to accept it on this part. And this is the third license agreement. Accept. Now we are good to go. Click on this finish button. It will again download some of the packages, some of the external and additional packages that we require, like for emulator. I mean, you can use your own Android device on mobile, but emulator is like a good option because we can't use mobile all the time. So for the testing purpose, Android emulator is the best option. And even in this video, in the next video, we'll use the Android emulator itself, and later on, like in the future videos of this course, we can deploy that app on our own Android phone or iOS. So after installing this, we'll set up an Android emulator. I'll tell you how to create an Android emulator, and most of the time we will use that Android emulator only on the VS Code also. This is like the path. Unzipping. So you can even go through the docs of Android Studio. There are some interesting docs. Android Studio Editor. Although we won't be using Android Studio much, but like it was one of the prerequisites because some of the SDKs that are dependent on SDKs that are required for Flutter are dependent on Android Studio. So that was the main reason of installing Android Studio. So by mistake, when we like clicked on the download option, so we clicked on Android Studio twice. That was the option. That's a little different. Let's wait for the installation process. It will take around 2 more minutes, I guess. And after the installing, Android Studio will once again try the Flutter Doctor command to check whether the Android Studio has been installed or not. Keep in mind while installing all these things, your internet connection is stable. Okay, it is asking for the user rights. Click on the yes option. Yes, once again. Yeah, everything is installed. Says Android virtual device Pixel 3a. Okay, done. Good. Okay, so here you'll start a new project if you want. But let's go on the more actions. And yeah, there is some option that you need to configure first of all. Like, okay, first of all, we can try the Flutter Doctor command. See if says any, and if it gives any error for the Android Studio or not. It says Android Studio has been installed, but it is giving some of the warnings for Android toolchain. Even though we have Android SDK available, but still it is giving some of the warnings. But you can see there's a good thing because Android Studio it's like giving install. But let's try to fix this error. For this error, we need to go back to the Android Studio and actions. Click on the SDK manager and here at the SDK tools. Okay, firstly it was at the SDK platforms. Now you need to click on SDK tools. Now there's an option for Android SDK command line tools. So this is the main option because this will be used for the command line tools when we will be writing some of the Android SDK commands on the Windows PowerShell itself. So this is the package that we need. Okay, that's it. You need to download this. Okay, first of all, let's try to download this and apply. The disk usage. It will once again download files, command line tools, 141 MB. Done. The command line tools are also installed and apply and okay, done. Okay, and let's once again try this. Okay, so once again it's giving warning, but right now you can see earlier it was giving total two warnings. First it was like command line tools, and this is of Android license. So the first warning has been removed, and this now we need to fix this warning or error, you must say. This is more like a warning. So it is already giving the solution. To resolve this, run Flutter Doctor Android license. And for running this command, we wanted the command line tools for Android Studio. That's why it was like necessary. Yeah. So it has already started the download process. Click on Y. I mean, just type Y and enter. Y and enter. Y and enter. For every option that asks, just Y and enter. Okay. The SDK license has been accepted. And these were some of the necessary licenses for running the Android Studio as well as Flutter together. So let's once again run the Flutter Doctor command. Yeah, you can see this warning is completely gone. Okay, that means your Android Studio has been installed successfully and Android tool chain. So licenses are already provided. Done. So this task is done. Yeah, great. Okay, so this is also done. Now it is saying set up the Android emulator. Okay, we can do this thing also. Okay, so let's go to Android Studio once again. Click on the more actions option. Click on the virtual device manager. So this device is already there. If we don't want to, let's like give a demo of like how to create a new device. Okay, let's go once again back. This will be the option that will appear. You need to click on the create device option. You just need to click on any of these options. We can try with Pixel Excel, with Google Pixel Excel, and click on next option. You can this another version you can also download. Like there is API 3.4, and you can also go with Oreo or Lollipop, whatever you say. You can download this Oreo option just of 769 MB, so it will usually take like a minute to install. Just wait for a few minutes. Although without installing Oreo, it might have run successfully. Still, because when we are like testing it on a like a physical device, then sometimes these things give a warning on error. So Oreo is like usable on any device. This is already done. Okay. I mean, you can try a test with this, or you can just go for this option. Click on next button. Now here on this emulated performance, verify configuration, emulated performance. Click on this for like a good processing and good graphics and all these things. You just need to click on this hardware GLS 2.0. That's it. Click on the finish option. And now you can see we have created another device, and you just need to click on this run command, launch this AVD. So this will start an AVD. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So you can see the phone here. Okay. That's cool. This is the Google Pixel Android Virtual Device Manager. I'll just turn on this device. Yeah, it's open. Yes, it has started powered by Android Studio. This is how you can use a virtual device instead of a physical device. Still, if you want to use physical device, then just you need to connect the USB cable to the laptop, and that's it. Anything you deploy with the Android Studio or the VS Code will appear on that physical device. But till then, we can see all those things. And this is like a real mobile itself. You can go through YouTube music, you can go through photos, and even you can run a music on this. You can directly open YouTube and you can just search for any video, and that video will be started. Okay, so this is how we will create an emulator. Okay, cool. So we can write this also, set up an Android emulator. So this is done, all the things. And this licenses, this command is already done, has been run, so we don't need to. Now this is the last, like one of the final part. This is like installing Visual Studio. Okay, this is the final part. And one more thing remains, like we was when you were using this Flutter Doctor, it was saying Chrome is not available. So why don't we just install Chrome? So yeah, download Chrome for Windows 11. Setup file has been installed. Click on open. Yes. On your marks. It is waiting for the download. Let's wait a few seconds. Your download has been completed. Waiting to install. So Chrome is also downloaded. Okay, so downloaded. Get started. Let's skip this part for now. Go for geometric graphics. Next, skip this part. No thanks for right now. Got it. Yeah. So Chrome is also installed. We can once again run the Flutter Doctor command. See the Chrome for this Chrome error also resolved. Okay. Done. Now is the time for Visual Studio. Okay. There are various options for downloading Visual Studio, but we'll go with the community one because it's like free. Professional enterprise you can go through based on your use cases. Free download. And one more thing I wanted to share, like Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code are two different things. So we will install both the things. Yes. Continue. Downloaded and waiting to install. Once again, keep in mind that your internet speed is stable. Okay, so these are the options for downloading Visual Studio Community. I mean, external packages and details like what else we can download. So you need to go below at, and yes, you need to search for this option, desktop development with C++. This is the main option. And even if you see on this, on the Flutter options, it is saying this either you download Visual Studio 22 or Visual Studio Build Tools. And when installing Visual Studio or only the build tools, you need the desktop development with C++ workload. So this is necessary. This is like a mandatory thing. Let's click on this, and so you can see the total space required here is like 18.35 GB. That's why I said like disk space. Most of the people face this error while installing the Visual Studio. Okay, so just click on install button. So the installation process has been started. It is downloading around 4.93 GB of speed. The packages. Okay, the internet speed is like average, so it won't take much of the time. We can wait till then, or we can look at some of the things about Android Studio. Okay, till then we can. Okay, so one more thing is like next step. Next step is set up an editor. Okay, so we need to install an editor. So in the last video, I already talked about the editor that people used to use. That is either Visual Studio Code or Android Studio and IntelliJ. So we'll go with installing Visual Studio Code because this is like one of the most useful as I guess, and I usually use this most of the time. And because the great thing about VS Code is its extension. Extensions are like pretty crazy in this VS Code. You just install on Windows. Yeah, click on this option. Visual Studio Code setup is also downloaded. I mean, you can also directly do this, or you can go to your store, Microsoft Store, and search for Visual Studio Code here also. There are two different ways. Either you download it from the official website, or you download it from from this Microsoft Store. Yes, we can click on this, click on this because it will be like easy to open the directory on a VS Code. Install, ready to install. And this Microsoft Studio, you can see like VS Code, because VS Code is also available in Microsoft Store. But I will prefer like the official website only. I mean, both are same. There's not much of a difference, but because we are following the documentation of the Flutter itself, that's fine. So look at the progress of it's about to be completed, and Visual Studio it's installed already. Finish. Yeah, VS Code is also downloaded. Go with the dark theme for now. Yeah, that's it. This is how we install VS Code. These are the Explorer, there's the search, and here is the extension. And I already mentioned that extension is like one of the craziest thing about VS Code. Even you can also create your own extensions if you want. Let's wait. Okay, it will take around 5 more minutes. Okay. So till then we can also mention the VS Code and we are waiting for Visual Step for this part. Full. It's the progress here. How it's about to be done. And what happened to our device? Yeah, device is already there. And then we can like open any YouTube video and this is the Google Maps. Let's remove this part. When you can use these icons also, remove it from here. Yeah, go to YouTube. This is like original YouTube in this virtual manager. Yeah. Okay, till then we can do one more thing. We can go to VS Code and look for the extensions. Okay. So this says that yeah, install VS Code. We have installed this. Open a browser and go to the Flutter extension and install it. So it is saying to install extension on VS Code whose name is Flutter. Okay, so we'll see if Flutter is there or not. Okay, so Flutter is there. We need to install this. And if you're installing this, then Flutter will download this Dart extension by itself. You can see this Dart is also installing. And no, it's awesome Flutter widgets. Yeah, awesome Flutter widgets. Awesome Flutter widgets. We need to install this part also, this extension also, because this will help in various things like we'll just need to write this state w stateful w, and it will already create a stateful widget, a stateless widget, because Flutter is all about widgets. It is like the recursion of widgets inside widgets, there is widgets inside widgets, so it's all about widgets. Let's see the extension once again. All the extension. Yeah, this what. And I was thinking of not remembering the name of it. Just leave it for. Okay, that's it. So these are the installed extensions that we basically require for running the Flutter on our device. Let's check out the Visual Studio. It's stuck on 38%. I guess we'll take a few more minutes. We can just wait. These nodes, let's wait for this. These are some of the important files that Visual Studio needs. And we can also use Android Studio for like running the Flutter program or Dart program. Android Studio is also very good on in that sense, but I prefer, like, it's on a personal use, personal preference. I prefer VS Code over on Android Studio. Although the emulator that is created as Pixel XL will use this emulator itself for even for VS Code. So we can say that again we have a dependency on Android Studio. Yes, that's cool. Let me just take 4 5 minutes. And then we can go through the Flutter official website. Yes, we can do. We can go for test drive. And by the way, we can run this doctor command once again. Flutter doctor. What is this? Yeah, it's saying that the current Visual Studio installation is incomplete. Reinstall Visual Studio. Okay, so since Visual Studio is being installed, that's why instead of error like the last time, it is giving a warning. This yellow color is the representation of warning. Okay, but rest of the things are working perfectly fine. We can wait for a few more minutes. And then I can show you the difference between the studio and visual and studio code. Is this Stack Overflow one of the best platform to ask any question? So Visual Studio full version is a full-featured and convenient development environment, and Visual Studio code is a cross-platform Linux macOS editor that can be extended. Yeah, so Visual Studio Code is like text editor, okay? But Visual Studio is like the complete development environment. I guess that answers your question. It's cross platform and fast Visual Studio is fast. So there's some other Visual Studio Code is an editor and Visual Studio is an IDE. Yeah, it's a complete environment, and Visual Studio is just a text editor. About the progress. Yeah, what to be done? We have to wait for few more minutes. Then that's it. Manager and all those things. So then we can check some of the things on VS Code, like if you want to open a command palette, this is the option, or you just need to do like Control Shift P. Okay, here we can. Yeah, so that means that Flutter is installed. That's why we install these extensions. So when run Flutter Doctor and this run project, all these things you can do. Well, let's run Flutter Doctor. Okay, wait. See this part. Control Shift P and sorry, view, and here if you'll see for outputs, in outputs you'll have to look for Flutter. Flutter is not there till now. Once again, command palette, run Flutter Doctor. Download it. That's fine. Okay, so it's asking for the Flutter. Okay, that's fine. Let's wait for the Visual Studio. Maybe there must be some problem with the SDK. So we can wait for that also. Just 20%. We'll try to fast forward this part so that video doesn't become so lengthy. Okay, we can do that thing also. Otherwise, I would have been able to run the SDK. Just like on terminal, we are able to run the Flutter Doctor. Try to fix this thing first. Okay, what does this says? Hmm, Set up an editor. Set up again. Dart plugin is installed. V output, select Flutter, and you can press Ctrl C and type doctor. Okay, we're already doing this thing, I guess. So Ctrl C, remove doctor. Flutter, and this is the pen. Okay, yeah. Okay, it is going for this. Okay, now returning a sticker is fine. Once again, command palette. Yeah, now it's running. So it was trying to go for the SDK, but it was unable to find it, even though we like applied it on the path. But that's fine. We already gave it to the path, exact path for the Flutter SDK. So if you also face this issue, then you just need to provide the path, SDK path. That's it. The bin path that we were already providing in the environment variables, that path only. So once again, let's exit code. Good. So means like Flutter is working perfectly on VS Code also. Once again, Control Shift P, Flutter Doctor. Network resources are done. SDK is done. Only Visual Studio is once again giving some of the warnings. Chrome done, and everything is working fine except the Visual Studio. How much time is left? Okay, now it's about to be end. It's about to be completed. This, I guess, 5 more minutes. That's it. Okay, so within the video, we try to fix the error, and like it's already working now. Also, till then, you can also go for like the some of the extension, because right now, if you normally we can what we can do is like create a new folder for installation. We can create a folder here with the name Flutter demo. Okay, set this and show more options. We can open with VS Code. Okay, so this directory has been installed. I mean, open on VS Code, and you can like go for like uh material theme, I guess. The one is Sublime material theme. It changes the color. I also uses this. You can see even dark. Okay, so you will observe that the color will be slightly changed. Yeah, it has changed. And this is the material icon theme. You need to install this also. Yeah, I like it. This is actually what I was looking for. So if you like create a file, i.txt, you can see this icon is there. Okay. So otherwise, if you wouldn't have used that extension, it would be like a normal text file. Let's delete this file for now. And once again, check Visual Studio. Yeah, finally, finally, it's about to be done. Few more seconds. That's it. It's downloaded. It is trying to be installed. That's it. Yeah, finally it's uninstalling. Oh my god. It took around like half an hour or maybe 20, more than 20 minutes, I guess. So finally, it has been installed. We can say like launch. It will try to open Visual Studio. Cool. They're saying to sign in. We can skip this for now. Let's park them. Cool. It has been installed. Visual Studio is also working fine. You can see all this GitHub Copilot and all these things. Okay, so the Visual Studio is also working. Now once again, test with Flutter Doctor. Okay, so finally you can say that Flutter has been installed completely and it is working completely fine. Even on the VS Code, if you'll run this, okay, run this Flutter Doctor command, Control Shift P, run Doctor, will give everything is working fine. See. So finally we can mention that on the notepad also. Done. So that was it for today's video, and we basically focused on the installation part. Later in the next video, we'll look at a demo app which we'll be using, which will be showing it on an Android emulator. We'll go through the file structure, folder structure, and widgets, what are those, and all the other things. So stay tuned for the next video.